Hey, it's Jasmine here with Posse Talks, and today we're kicking off our April series with Week of the Young Child. We're going to go into what it is, why we celebrate it, and how you as a nanny can celebrate it either in your home or with other nannies in your community. So come on in, join us, and I cannot wait to get down to the nitty-gritty and discuss all of this with you. Hey, welcome to today's Posse Talk. So before we get going into this week's Posse Talk, first I want to introduce myself. If you have not met me before, my name is Jasmine Berry and I am the founder of Nanny Posse. We're a small nanny agency in North Carolina, but one of the things that I love most and what really just drives me is helping other nannies learn and excel in their nanny careers. So that is why we came up with Posse Talks. Every week you can join us here and I'll discuss a new topic that's either childcare or nanny related. We're going to mix it up a little bit, and sometimes it might even just be about life and being better versions of ourselves, because let's face it, when we are better versions of ourselves, well, then we are better nannies as well. So with all of that in mind, with that intro behind us, let's get into what this week's Posse Talk is all about. And just so you know, this week's talk is going to kick off all of April, because there's a lot that goes on in April for the nanny industry, and we just want to make sure that we're able to kind of focus on two main events. And the first event is Week of the Young Child. Now, Week of the Young Child, you're probably wondering what that is, and it is an annual event that is sponsored by NACY, National Association of Education for Young Children. Now, they are a professional association. Right now, they are the world's largest professional association for early childhood education, and they have close to 60,000 members worldwide. Now, nannies out there that are watching this, if you're wondering if you can join NACY and get access to all of their amazing materials and resources, you can. It's a paid membership, just like INA or any of the other nanny associations you might belong to, and it is just chock-a-block full of amazing resources. Plus, in non-COVID times, they have an amazing conference that they hold. But we'll talk about that another time. So let's just focus in on what NACY is all about, and that is promoting a higher quality of learning in early childhood. Now, back in 1971, that is exactly 50 years ago, they established Week of the Young Child, and the reason that they created this week was to promote the needs of families, or to promote the needs of young children and their families, because as we know, young children are very much influenced by their families in these early years. As well, sometimes families are the first educators or teachers in their children's lives. So they wanted to promote the needs of these two groups. Now, in addition, they also wanted to highlight programs and providers that were already meeting these needs. One of the reasons they created this is because there is a lot of research that shows that early childhood, birth to age 8, not only does this foundation affect children for their education onward, but also affects children for their lives as they grow older. Who they become a lot of times has been shaped by what they were provided in early childhood. So by bringing to light what these needs are, how can we best promote or best step up to the plate and give these children what they need, then we can equip children to become amazing stewards in our communities going forward. So with all of that said, they created this week. Now they sponsor it annually, and there's 51 affiliates that are with Nanny, as well as different programs that will run their own Week of the Young Child events. Nanny will pick the date and they will pick the themes, but then the different programs and organizations, they'll decide what those actual events are. So let's talk about what this year's events are. Now, just so you know, if you're saying, well, some of these themes seem the same, if you were with Week of the Young Child, or if you celebrated Week of the Young Child last year, you might be saying, this sounds very familiar. They are the same this year. They have a initiative to step it up and just bring up that level of focus that you're giving each theme this year, but they are the same. Now, those of you who are new, let's get into what these themes actually are. All right, so our first day is Saturday. It is going to be April 10th this year. April 10th is a Saturday, and that is Kickoff Saturday. Really, all that is where different organizations will get their communities ready for the Week of the Young Child, which this year will start April 12th. The first actual day is going to start on April 12th. Now, some other things you can do to get people excited, because it is the weekend, as you can start by getting them doing a fun activity with your community, or you could have a special family centered event that they can do. You can ask them to get together materials that as nannies, they may not need to bring in, but they can set aside for you so that you have it ready to go when you walk into work on Monday. There's a lot of different things that you can do with your Kickoff Saturday, or not do. You don't need to do anything. I will say this, just so you know, we will be posting our events on Kickoff Saturday with all the different ideas of things that you can do in the home. So if you're looking for more ideas, tune into our social media on April 10th and you'll be able to get some ideas that we have just for our nanny community. Now, the first actual day is going to be Music Monday. Now, why is music important? Well, when our kids are participating in music, they are they're developing literacy skills, and a lot of times they're wanting to move their bodies with all of that energy, and so we work on some gross motor as well. It's just a joyous experience. So music it's such a crucial part of early childhood development, and we want to bring a little focus to that. So Music Monday. Then we are going to have Tasty Tuesday. Now, main thing is to either get in the kitchen or enjoy foods that your children have never tried before on this day. When you cook together, you're having math skills and science, you're developing math skills and science skills, and sometimes literacy skills that they're helping you to read off the recipe or write it down. Then when we look at just tasting from around the world, this is when we get into developing some of our social skills and learning about new cultures and really broadening our children's horizons. And sometimes it's a little bit of science too, as we look and see where all the foods are from and why these foods might come from these areas. Like, why do certain foods grow in certain areas, and why do certain cultures eat more of one item than another? So you can really turn tasting foods into a science experiment of its own, as well as you make little observations. So really have fun with that one as well. Even if it is really just getting in the kitchen and having them help you bake chocolate chip cookies or pancakes for breakfast, whatever it is, have fun with it. Now, Work Together Wednesday, that is going to be such a fun one as well. Cooperative play is one of the key pieces that children need in order to develop negotiation skills, collaboration skills, and just social skills overall. So when we look at Work Together Wednesday, some things you can do are building a pillow fort together, but not just building that pillow fort. Maybe you could design it together. You can, with Work Together Wednesday, you can create a new board game. So don't just play a board game, create a board game. Create how it's going to look and what the rules are and what the theme is. Do that together. That would be a fun activity for sure. Another thing that you can do is you could decide maybe just how you're going to schedule your day. Work together to create your routine for that day and include everyone, and see how talking it out and how the children get along with bringing together everyone's opinions. Now, fourth day, that is going to be Artsy Thursday. Now, when we have arts, we are helping to develop that creative thinking, and creative thinking is actually essential and a lot more than just creative arts. When we have scientists in creative thinking and chefs in creative thinking, writers, so helping them to develop creative thinking and helping them to have fun with art is a key skill. Try to make a picture to music. So now you're pulling a little Music Monday as well. Give them a bunch of materials and ask them to create something that is just in their head. Tell them to have fun with color and the textures. Just let them have fun. That's basically it with Artsy Thursday. There are no rules. That is going to be a key for that one. If you really want them to develop those creative thinking skills, try and keep as few rules as possible when you're doing Artsy Thursday. And then our last day is Family Friday. So with that, we would love to see you highlight families on this day, because families are just key to those early years. As we talked about, families sometimes are their first teachers. So let's highlight families. You can do this in a number of ways. You can set a talk with the parents and sort of reevaluate what they want most for their children and how you can best help them reach those goals. You can come up with some ideas to help them along their parenting journey based on the conversation that you had, or you can simply ask the parents to share a little piece of their childhood with you and then see how maybe you can do that with their child throughout the day. So maybe they had a favorite game, or maybe the parents had a favorite snack growing up, or maybe there was a favorite story. There are so many ways. Again, it's also Family Friday, so maybe it's a grandparent. There's so many ways to bring in different members of the family and highlight them on this day and really just celebrate one of the core values of Week of the Young Child, and that is the family. Now, I hope that brings a little bit more of an understanding of what Week of the Young Child is, how you can celebrate it, but I also want to let you know that below in the description, I have linked the Nanny website that goes right into Week of the Young Child so that you can see exactly what that is all about, what they say about it. And also, like I said, tune in to our social media on April 10th and you'll see a list of ideas, some in-depth ideas of what you can do as a nanny to celebrate this week. Now, join us next week as we go into the next big event of April. That will be the second piece of our April series, which we cannot wait to talk about, and that is National Nanny Training Day. I will see you next Monday, and hopefully you have a wonderful week, all you stellar nannies and stellar humans out there.